Hi everybody, I'm Sarah. I teach Warm Hearts yoga classes, yoga for adults and children of all ages, mostly in and around St Andrews. And this series of videos is a short introduction to some different styles of yoga. So the first one we did last week was our Hatha yoga, which is a general introduction to yoga. It's that idea of keeping balance in the body. This week, I thought I would like to share some Ashtanga yoga with you. And this is my own personal yoga practice, so I really enjoy it. It's a very energizing practice. It involves a lot of the positions, the postures are the same as you would do in a Hatha class, but we link these postures with the breath. So every single movement in our series, it's a set series of postures. So you would do the same postures throughout your practice every day. And as you progress, you add more postures. And then eventually you get a second set of postures to start working your way through, and a third, and so on. Okay, so it's not that you do the same yoga for your whole life, but you have a set sequence that you work through each day. So every movement in this sequence is counted with the breath. So the whole sequence has a set count. You start with your first inhale and exhale, and that goes on. You can count through the whole sequence, your whole practice, which means that this practice can become a moving meditation. The idea that the mind is focused on a single thing, in this case, the count of the practice, and it doesn't wander off anywhere. And this means that you can get some really nice calming sensations and effects from the practice. But at the same time, because it's a strong physical practice, then you get the benefits of feeling energized, you're developing strength in your body, and you're stretching the whole body out. So we're going to do a short Ashtanga sequence today. The full sequence, if we're starting with the primary series, the first series, the full sequence would take you anywhere from an hour and 15 minutes if you're working super speedy, to an hour and 45 minutes, or 2 hours if you're on a slow burn. So we don't have time for that, but we're going to just pick some of the key postures and work through them, and also get this idea of flowing with our breath. Okay. So we're going to begin standing today. So again, all you need is your space. Okay, so find your way into your space and come to stand. And we're going to stand at the top of our mats or our space to begin. Finding that samastitihi, that equal standing posture. So the feet are together, the hands start down by the side, and you're not leaning backwards or forwards. You're standing as straight as you can possibly be. And you're gazing right out in front. So as we stand here, let's just start to notice our breathing. See if you can tune into the rhythm of your breath, and if it feels okay for you, you keep the mouth closed and you breathe in and out through your nose. Now you might have heard people doing yoga with this really strong breath. Sounds a bit like Darth Vader. This is called Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. And it's another way to focus the attention of the mind. Your mind is like a crazy monkey. It bounces all over the place. It doesn't like to stay still. So we have to use things to get that stillness. We can't just say, okay, mind, be still now, be quiet. It's not going to listen. Crazy monkeys don't listen. So instead, we have to give it anchors to help it find that stillness and steadiness. A bit like a boat needs an anchor to hold it still and steady in the waves. So one anchor in our Ashtanga practice is our count, our movements. The other anchor is our breath. So we try and find this sound so you can hear your breath to help you stay focused. You do that by just slightly constricting your throat and see if you can hear your inhale and your exhale. Ashtanga is quite a traditional practice, so we start off with a chant. I'm not going to do the full chant with you. We'll do an Om. Om is the sound of the universe. The idea of chanting this is that we're connecting ourselves with the whole universe around us. Also, it's creating vibrations within your body, causing all your cells to vibrate and wiggle about, and it does the body good. It's like an internal massage. So you might listen, you might join in. I'm going to do 3 Om. You bring the hands into this Anjali Mudra prayer position in front of the heart. Take a breath in. Om. And then bring the hands down beside the body. So you warm the body up with some sun salutations, Surya Namaskar. Our first Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach the hands up, look up. Exhale, fold forwards, bring the hands down, drop the head. Inhale, lift the chest, look forwards. Exhale, step the feet back, find your high plank position and lower slowly down. As you inhale, lift your chest into a cobra or an upwards facing dog. And as you exhale, lift your hips and find your downwards facing dog. We pause here. 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, step the feet forwards, lift the chest, look up. Exhaling, drop the head down. Inhaling, stand up, lift the hands, look up to the thumbs. Exhaling, come back to Samasthiti. Do that twice more. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forwards, drop the head down. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, find your high plank and then lower the body down. You might come all the way to the floor, you might find you can pause. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, lift your hips. Find your downwards facing dog. Again, pausing here with some steady breath. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, step the feet forwards, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, drop the head down. Inhale, stand up, lift the hands, look up to the thumbs. Exhale, back to Samasthiti. Once more. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forwards, drop the head down. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze forwards. Exhale, high plank position, lower the body. Inhale, take your back bend. Exhale, hips up, downwards facing dog. Three, 4, 5. Inhale, step the feet forwards, lift the chest, look out in front. Exhale, drop the head down. Inhale, stand up, lift the hands, look up towards those thumbs. Exhale, Samasthiti. Now we have Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B, which take a bit more time, a couple of extra postures. So we start off in chair pose, Utkatasana. You bend the knees, sink the hips back. As you breathe in, lift the hands up and look up. Exhale and fold forwards. Bring the hands down, drop the head. Inhale, lift the chest, look forwards. Exhale, find your high plank, lower the body. Inhale, take your back bend. Exhale, hips up, downwards facing dog. Now, as you inhale here, we're going to step the right foot forward, like we did our high lunge last week, and lift the body up, lift the arms up. Take a breath in again here. As you breathe out, bring the hands down, step that front foot back, lower the body, long breaths. Breathing in, take your back bend. Breathing out, hips up, downwards facing dog. Breathing in, step that left foot forwards, lift the body up, lift the hands up, find that high lunge. Okay, take another breath in if you just exhale. So that on your exhale, you can bring the hands down, step back and lower. Breathing into your back bend. Breathing out, hips up, downwards facing dog. So this time we pause here for our 5 breaths. About 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, step the feet forwards, lift the chest, look up. Exhale and drop the head down. Inhale, we bend the knees, send the hips back, reach the hands back to this Utkatasana. And then exhale, stand up, bring the hands down, Samastitihi. We'll do just one more of those to make sure the body's really nice and warm. So as you breathe in, find your chair pose, Utkatasana. Breathing out, folding forwards, drop the head. Breathing in, lift the chest. Breathing out, high plank and lower. Breathing in, take your back bend. Breathing out, hips up, downwards facing dog. Breathing in, right foot steps forwards, lift up into your high lunge. Breathing out as you lower the hands, step back, lower the body. Breathing into your back bend. Breathing out, hips up, downwards facing dog. Breathing in, left foot steps forwards, lift up, high lunge. Breathing out, coming back through that high plank to lower. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming to your downwards facing dog. Pausing here. Steady breaths in and out through the nose. 4, 5. Breathing in, step the feet forwards, lift the chest. Breathing out, drop the head. Breathing in, bend the knees, sink the hips back, lift the hands to Utkatasana. Breathing out, stand tall, Samastitihi. Now we take a little jump to bring our feet apart to hip width. And then as we breathe out, we're going to fold forwards and take these first 2 fingers of each hand, peace fingers, and hook them around the big toes. And it might be that you bend your knees here. This is Padangusthasana, hand to big toe posture. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, let yourself come all the way down. 2, 3, 4, 5. As you breathe in, lift the head. Breathe out, hands come onto the waist. Breathe in, lift the body up. Breathe out, jump those feet back together. Now we breathe in, step out, take that right foot out to the side, bringing the feet wide. Turn the right toes out, left toes in, coming into Trikonasana, triangle posture. As you exhale now, reach that right hand away and then come over to the side. So it might be that your hand's higher, it might be that it's lower, it might be down towards the foot. And you can look up to this top hand if that feels okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. As you breathe out, you look down. As you breathe in, lift your body up, swivel your feet round, and then breathe out, reach through that left hand and come down to the other side. Again, look up if that feels right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, look down. Breathing in, lift up into center. Breathing out, come back to the front of your mat, Samasthiti. We come back to this standing posture between all of our standing asanas. We come back to this Samasthiti. Okay, again, breathing in. We're going to step out to the side, taking our feet wider this time. And then turning the right toes out, left toes in. As you breathe out, bend that right knee. Remember our warrior position, but take the hand over. So this arm can rest on the thigh, or you might find you can touch the floor. And this left arm is going to reach past your ear to create this line from fingertips down to the foot. Good. Holding here for another 3, 2, 1. As you breathe out, just look down to the foot. And as you breathe in, lift yourself back to that warrior position. Good. Straighten the right leg. Swivel the feet. Breathe out. Find your warrior. And then take yourself over to the side. So you could bring your arm to your thigh, or the hand might find the floor. This right arm's going past your ear this time, creating that straight line. So this is side angle posture, Parsvottanasana. We're creating this side angle down this lovely line. Just got another 2, 1. As you breathe out, look down. As you breathe in, lift yourself back to that warrior, straighten that front leg, and then step all the way back to the front of your mat, bringing the hands down. Okay, we're going to do our standing balance next. We've got Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, extended hand to big toe posture. So bring your left hand onto your hip, and as you breathe in, lift your right knee. Okay, you can stay here, you can hold around your shin, or you can see if you can hook your big toe. Again, we're using the first 2 fingers of the hand here, and then maybe extend that leg out in front. So see where you want to be. And if this leg is extending out in front, we're trying to stay upright here and make this leg long and make this arm long. Good. Hold for another 3, 2, 1. And then as you exhale, just feel it bending that knee if it's not bent, and release the foot down to the floor. Okay. So the other side, same thing. Bringing that right hand to the hip, and as you breathe in, lift that left knee. Either take hold around the shin and stay here, or maybe you find your big toe and maybe that leg starts to stretch out in front of you. Okay, and again, this is another one. We talked about tight hamstrings, the backs of the legs last week if you play a lot of sport. So this is another one that can feel quite challenging if you do a lot of that. So don't worry, that's you. Remember, the beauty of yoga is everybody's posture is different. Okay, so as you exhale, bend that knee and then bring the foot down to the floor. Okay, we're going to take a vinyasa here. So vinyasa is just a word for a string of postures that we do with the breath. You've been doing this already in your sun salutations. So this is a bit like our sun salutation here. We're going to bring it into some warrior poses. So as you breathe in, reach the hands up and look up. As you breathe out, fold forwards, drop the head. Breathe in, lift the chest, look forwards. Breathe out, back to your high plank, lower the body. Breathe in, take your back bend. Breathe out, lift the hips, downwards facing dog. Now breathing in, we're stepping that right foot forwards, but this time we're going to turn the back foot out and bring it flat to the floor instead of staying on the ball of the foot like we have done in our lunges. And then once you've got your feet steady, you breathe in, lift the body up, lift the hands up. So this is another warrior pose. This is warrior one position. You're trying to turn the body and the hips to face the front and work against that leg wanting to turn you to the side. And we do 4 warriors in this sequence here. And this is our first one. Now as you breathe in next, straighten that right leg, turn all the way around to face the back, and breathe out, bend your left knee. Try to really press your back foot down into the ground and reach up through your fingertips. Good. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, open the arms to the side and you find your warrior 2. You should have your left knee bent still. Gaze along those left fingertips. Good. Feel the strength that you've got here. Feel how strong you are holding all these warriors. As you breathe in now, straighten that left leg, turn the feet round and breathe out, bend that right knee. Gaze now along those right fingertips. It's our last warrior, so we're staying strong for our final few breaths. Good, last breath here. And then we're going to take another vinyasa down to the floor. So as you breathe in, cartwheel this back hand, this left hand round, and bring both hands down to the floor. As you breathe out, step this front foot back to your high plank and lower. Breathe into your back bend. Breathe out, hips up, downward facing dog. Now we're going to come to sit from here. And one day you might find you can jump and your feet will shoot straight through your arms and you can come to sit. But for the moment, what we're going to do is step. So we're going to step our right foot towards our left wrist. And we're going to step our left foot towards our right wrist, crossing the legs. And then we sit down and then we stretch the legs out in front. Okay, so this is Dandasana, staff pose or stick pose. And even though at first you might think it looks really simple, your whole body has to work to hold this shape. So you're turning your toes upwards, you're bringing your hands down beside your hips, and you're trying to create this right angle with the body. Okay, staying here for another 2 breaths. And then we take our first forwards fold here in a seated position. So we reach down and hook these big toes again. This is an idea of sealing in our energy by creating this bind of the hands around the feet. And if the toes feel like they're a million miles away, you just bring them closer by bending the knees. It's not an issue. Okay? So this is Paschimottanasana, a stretch for the back of the body. Breathe in here. And as you breathe out, draw yourself down into your forwards fold. And just like our standing postures, we hold these for about 5 breaths. So around 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, lift your chest. Breathe out, let go of the feet, sit up tall. Now, between our seated postures, we do vinyasas again. This is to keep the body moving, keep the body warm, and just keep this lovely energy that you're creating. So we're going to cross the legs and hug them in tight towards the body and breathe out here. Bring the hands to the floor. You can touch the toes on the floor and breathe in as you lift your hips, and then see if you can wiggle your feet back through your hands so they're behind your hands. Good. And then from here, we reach them out to our high plank position. Now you might have lost your breath a bit, so we're going to exhale to lower. Inhale through to your back bend. Exhale, hips up, downwards facing dog. Inhale, stepping the feet forward, sitting down and stretching them out again. Okay, we take another forwards fold here. So this one is Janu Shashasana. It translates as head to knee posture. But don't worry if your head is nowhere near your knee. So we're bending this right leg in towards that tree position, the tree balance. So the foot is coming up against the leg. And then we'll reach down to take hold of this left foot here. And if you can't reach the foot, you hold the leg or you bring the hands to the floor. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, take yourself forwards. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, lift the chest. Breathe out, come all the way up. So we do a mini vinyasa before we come to our other sides. Just cross the legs here. Bring the hands to the floor. Breathe in, lift the hips. Breathe out, sit them back down again and stretch the legs out in front. And we're going to bend that left leg in now. So this left knee bend, foot coming against your leg somewhere. Turn your body so you're looking down that right leg and reach forwards. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, come down into your forwards fold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, lift the chest. Breathe out, come all the way up, and we take that vinyasa again. So cross the legs, hug them in tight. Hands to the floor. Inhale, lift up, swing those feet through. Exhale, back and lower. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, hips up, downwards facing dog. Inhale, stepping forward, sitting down, stretch out these legs. Okay, let's take a twist. So this is a much deeper twist than we did in our hatha last week. We're going to bend the right leg in, but this time the foot's coming to the floor in this position here. And we're twisting towards this knee. So wrap your left arm around that right leg. Sit up tall, and as you breathe out, turn and look over your back shoulder. And you're seeing if you can work the body round past that knee, all the way around. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in. As you breathe out, release, come to face the front. Mini vinyasa. We cross the legs, hands to the floor. Breathe in, lift the hips. Breathe out, set them down again. Stretch both legs out in front. Bend your left leg in, bringing the foot to the floor, sitting up tall. As you breathe out, hugging that right arm around the left knee, twisting towards the leg, turning to look over that back shoulder. The back hand can be on the floor here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in and breathing out as you release and stretch this leg back out. We've got another vinyasa. If you're starting to feel tired, you could do your mini vinyasa, lift and lower instead. Otherwise, again, we're hugging the legs in, crossing them. Hands to the floor, breathe in, lift the hips, wiggle the feet through. Breathe out as we come back and lower. Breathe in to your back bend. Breathe out, hips up, downwards facing dog. Breathe in, step the feet forward, sit back and stretch those legs out. Here we come now to Navasana. So this is a pose to really target your core muscles and your strength. We're going to bend the knees and then lift the feet up, reaching the hands out as well so your palms are facing one another. And then try not to sink back. Try and stay upright here. Good. For another 3, 2, 1. Good. Keep the feet off the floor. Cross the legs. See if you can hold your feet and squeeze them in towards you. Breathe out And as you breathe in, don't put the feet down, but come back into Navasana one more time. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this time, exhale, bring the feet down to the floor and just sit up. Okay. Going to come down into some finishing postures now. So come towards the top of your mat. Keep these feet bent, knees flat on the floor, and use an exhale to roll down onto your back. And then bring the feet in a bit closer. So if you reach down, you can tickle your heels with the fingers. Check your toes are pointing forwards. I'm going to lift the hips up into a bridge position, a back bend here. So on your next breath in, you press through your feet, you lift your hips from the ground and come up as high as you can onto the shoulders. And if you want now, you wiggle the shoulders underneath you a little bit, and you might even interlace the fingers here and bring the hands to the floor. Try and send your heart up and forwards towards your chin as much as you can. Staying here for another 3 breaths. 2, 1. And then exhale and lower all the way back down. Bring the shoulders out from underneath you. Bring your hands out from underneath you. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to hold the backs of the legs and rock up to a seated position. So in our Ashtanga, after we've done our back bend, we fold forwards. So breathing in here and breathing out as you reach down and fold forwards. And you can just take this to be a little bit more relaxed than the Paschimottanasana we did already. Just let the head drop down and take some steady breaths to stretch out your back. You can stay here for up to 10 breaths this time, if that feels nice, just to counter the back bend you've just done. Now as you inhale, lift the chest, exhale, come all the way up. We're going to come to 2 final postures, which we do seated. Now, some of you may have practiced yoga before and be used to coming into a lotus posture, Padmasana. And if that's something that you are used to, you could do that here, or you could give it a try. So as we bring the leg in, we're going to start with the right foot, picking it up and putting it on top of the left thigh. And you could stay here and just tuck that left foot under the right knee, and this is a half lotus position. Or if it feels okay for your knees and your hips, then you see if you can pick this left foot up and slide it up onto your right thigh. So it's like you've crossed your legs inside out, upside down. Your feet are up on the top. Okay. And if this doesn't work at all for you, then you release that and you cross your feet in the regular way. Okay, so just do what feels good. There's no point in causing yourself an injury. That's not what we're here to do. So our Chi Mudra that we did last time, we bring our thumb and first finger together, extend the other fingers out, backs of the hands to the knees, chest lifting nice and tall. And you just gaze down towards the floor in front of you and take a few deep breaths here. As you breathe, you might notice that your breath starts to slow down a little bit. If your heart's been racing, it's a chance for your heart to slow down as well. It's your whole body to begin to find calmness and quietness here. Noticing that monkey in your mind again, seeing what it's up to just now. Trying to focus on the steady breath so that we can forget about the crazy monkey antics and just enjoy a moment of quietness. And then our final posture before we take rest is a bit of fun. The idea here is that your yoga practice should set you up for the day ahead of you. It shouldn't leave you exhausted. So you should have enough energy left at the end of your practice to do a big strong posture. And the final posture in Ashtanga is Utplui, is uplift, which is when we bring the hands to the floor and lift all the way up. So if you're in a lotus position, this is actually not too difficult to do. If you're cross-legged, it is a bit harder. It's still possible, but you might find that your hips lift and your feet stay on the floor. But you can do it. You just have to work a lot harder in that cross-legged position. So give it a go just now, okay? You need to bring your hands to somewhere about the middle of your thighs. If they're back here, you've got no chance. And if they're too far forwards, then you'll have to shift the body anyway. And then on a breath in, we press through the hands and we lift the knees or lift the hips and just see what happens. See if you can hold there for another 3, 2, 1, and then exhale and lower. Okay, we're going to just do another chant before we lie down. So again, you can listen or you can join in. We're going to do 1 Om and 3 Shantis, and Shanti means peace. Okay, so you can bring the hands again together, Anjali Mudra, the center of the chest. And if you're joining me, take a breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And release the hands. Uncross your legs. And we're just going to lie down now and take rest. So find your way onto your back. Let the feet flop. Let the hands turn upwards. And close your eyes. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And you might do that a couple more times. We let all the heat out of the body now. We generate a lot of heat in an Ashtanga practice. And now we release that through the mouth, releasing the breath. And let the body begin to cool down and settle down. Allowing yourself to become still. Nice counter from all the movement we've been doing, and now we find this stillness. Allow the breath to be free and easy, just coming and going without thinking about it too much or making an effort to breathe in a particular way. See if you can find some stillness. Letting the body rest now. As the body rests, take the mind on a little journey. Visualize a rainbow and see yourself moving towards that rainbow. Getting closer and closer, and the rainbow doesn't fade, it stays just as bright. You can see all the colours. You might feel that you're walking towards the rainbow, you might feel that you're floating. take yourself into that rainbow. Let the colours wash over you. As you feel yourself surrounded by that colour red, feel strong. Say to yourself, I am strong. Let yourself move into the orange light. Let that colour orange surround you. Say to yourself, I am flexible. I am flexible. Move into the yellow light of the rainbow. Let this yellow light wash over you. Say to yourself, I am happy. I am happy. Move into the green light of the rainbow. Let this green light surround you, to wash over you. Say to yourself, I am loved. I am loved. Move now into the blue light. Surround yourself with this blue light. Let it sink into you. Say to yourself, I am heard. I am heard. And finally, move into the indigo and violet lights, the purple lights. Let this surround you and wash over you. Say to yourself, I am calm. I am calm. You could stay imagining yourself surrounded by any one of these colours. If one spoke to you today, if one feels very nice, alternatively you could just let yourself rest for a few moments. If you're quite happy as you are, you just stay here. Ignore my voice and carry on resting and relaxing. If you're ready to move, take a couple of deeper breaths. Start to be more aware of the body. Feel the floor underneath you, the air above you, and then begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Have a stretch, have a yawn. And then slowly make your way over onto your side. It doesn't matter which side. Take a moment there. And lifting yourself up. Finishing again, seated position. Hands together. Bowing the head down to acknowledge your practice, the energy you've created. Thanking yourselves, feeling that gratitude. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your introduction to your Ashtanga practice. Next time we'll be doing a Vinyasa flow style class. So again, that's quite an energetic style, it gets you moving, and we're flowing again with the breath, but some slightly different postures and slightly different style than the Ashtanga. Bye, see you next week.